Yeah, I get started. I thought, I give Dallas a lot of credit. They really competed. They were hustling. They were scrapping, getting offensive rebounds, loose balls. It was a very challenging game. Uh, I thought our defense was pretty good today, but offensively, uh, we struggled to get anything going. We just didn't see many shots fall and got a little bit frustrated by that. So I give Dallas a lot of credit, and we'll have to take a look at it and see what we can do better.
Christians in the
Coach, you mentioned offense. What necessarily do you think was it that lacked?
Well, I didn't think our pace was great early, but we did get a lot of shots that I think are pretty typical to the shots we get. We just didn't really make them, and uh, I think that's part of the game is being able to handle missing and not letting it affect you later in the game. You just realize it's part of it. These small samples, uh, you just keep getting good shots, and then hopefully you get on a run somewhere. But we never really got on that run. We never got to see the ball go through the basket that much, and that frustrated us. And I don't want to. I mean, Dallas was playing good defense too, and that made it difficult as well.
I mean, was Dallas doing anything? You said you couldn't get on. You can find that run. What was Dallas doing that was throwing you off? Anything specific?
I don't think there was any, specific strategy or anything like that. They were playing hard. They were communicating. They weren't giving up the just easy, uncontested shot. Um, they were getting back in transition and getting matched up, so we didn't get much going in transition either. But I think I just think there was like a sense of frustration because we weren't making some of the shots that we typically make. And then we start pressing a little bit. And I don't mean pressing as in a defensive set. I mean just as a mental, like, all right, I got to make this one. And that never really works. You just got to, play to the next open shot and just play like you always play. You can't get affected by the first few misses or even the first quarter or half of misses. It really won't affect the rest of the game unless you allow it. I do think we allowed it to bother us a little bit today.
Go ahead, Megan.
Hey, Coach, good to see you. Wanted to ask about BG. I noticed that, her performance or production has been down a little bit the last couple of days, games. How do you get her going again and get that inside post presence?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get her some, that's going to be on me. We got to find a way to get her some more deep touches. Uh, she's so good around the rim, and we're going to have to look at some more ways so that we don't forget about her. Obviously we've had some games where we've been shooting the ball really well and hitting the threes, and then it's kind of easy to forget about the post presence that we have between Bree and BG. But a day like today when there's some struggling, it would have been nice to get a couple easy baskets. So I just got to figure out a way to get her more involved in the offense.
Go ahead, Wilton.
Coach, that first quarter, or specifically the first half, Lee Rue had a big impact, specifically in pick and roll situations. What was Dallas presenting to you guys that kind of made it challenging for you all in that specific case?
Well, I thought she had a great game. I mean, she picked and popped a couple times, hit some mid-range jumpers. She got offensive rebounds. She did a great job on the boards. She was setting screens and ball screens, and we did a good job with the ball screen, but then they would change the angle and they would just keep working until they could get something. But overall defensively, I thought we did a really good job. I mean, usually if you hold teams under 70 points, you're probably going to win 90 some percent of that game, those games, but uh, not today. When you shoot it under 25% from the field.
Quick follow up. When you look at a loss like this, how do you put it in perspective? I mean, obviously, nobody wants to lose a game, but when you think about the next two games coming up against the opponents that you have in the Lynx and the Liberty, what is a loss like this? What can you learn from a loss like this?
Well, I mean, I watched the film, and we'll see what we can gain from this. Unfortunately, things like this happen over a 44 game season. There's going to be some games where you shoot it exceptionally well, and maybe you beat a team that might even be a little bit better than you, but you had just an amazing night. And then there's other days where, uh, you have a couple games a year where you have just really poor shooting performance and it makes it tough to win. And this was one of those days. You know, Dallas definitely was competing and making it tough, but we still got to find a way to do a better job putting the ball in the basket.
And we'll finish up with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, go ahead.
For a game like tonight, even though I'm sure getting more shots to fall in is a big one, but is there anything particular that you saw that you wish the team could have did a little bit better tonight? Maybe post a little harder, get a little bit more rebounds. What are your thoughts on tonight?
Well, I mean, I thought both teams were playing super hard. I mean, the ball was on the floor, people were flying around. I thought both teams were really competing on the defensive end, trying to make it tough. So, uh, I watch a film. I don't really think it was an effort thing. I think it was more of a situation where, we got some good licks early, we didn't make it, and then we just seemed to be frustrated and, uh, then sometimes we took tougher shots because we really wanted to make something happen when really we just needed to kind of stick to keeping the ball movement, getting into multiple actions, and seeing how good a shot we could create on each possession. So I thought we kind of just start pressing a little bit when we got off to a bad start.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you, guys.